Always think of your entry point as last night's close. Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. A little reprieve from the rain this morning. Sun's popped out, but I think we're going to get a bit more rain, and my two dogs have had their walk for the morning. I think they're pretty spent now. One of the most valuable pieces of information I think I've ever gotten was from Paul Tudor Jones, reading the Market Wizards, and you know, you read stuff and it doesn't really have that much of an impact. You see videos, you listen to other traders, and there's little things that they say that you remember, but then at some point in your trading they have a significant impact because the penny drops and you realize the importance of what that information meant to you. And one of the best things that Paul Tudor Jones I read in Market Wizards was always think of your entry point as last night's close. Now, my trading is based off of hourly and 5-minute charts, but it all starts with the end of day. And my end of day opening range, I look for really simple setups. There's always one or 2 days a week that move very strongly, and they're high momentum days. And what I look for is an indication that there's either a range expansion about to happen, or we pull back into the previous Friday or week's range high or low, because I want to look and target the weekly ATR, and I want to try and position myself for a strong momentum day move, which means that, I talked about this in other videos, I was trying to trade all the time, but as I started to look at the days where the market moves strongly, I realized that when you trade on those days, it requires no effort. It requires very little stress. The market does all the work for you. And all of my homework went backwards, figuring out how to target these high probability days where the market's going to move. And one of the best things that Paul Tudor Jones talked about is always consider your entry point last night's close. So if you're trading intraday, and if you're trading end of day, obviously the week's close, we talked about this last week, amateurs open, professionals close. The closing price can have major significance as a price level, not only for how the day through Asia and into the Asia close starts to auction, but it gives you an indication if they're protecting a certain level or if they're reversing it and going back into the previous day's range. So that's something that you need to maybe look at with your own trading, regardless of the time frame you're on. If you're using 4-hour charts, use the weekly close. If you're using hourly charts, look at last night and the Friday close. Again, we talk about this in the 7-step daily routine. I've showed this with the opening range trades. 80% of the time, Monday, Tuesday is potentially a high or a low point for the week in terms of selling and buying extremes. So if you start to pair that up with the other information and looking at the closes of the week and of your session, that may give you an indication of the days where there's a high probability possibility that the market's going to make a range expansion and move quite strongly. And those are the days, again, where I've really targeted on, instead of trying to trade all the time, I'm targeting certain days where when I get that indication that there is an impulsive wave or there's going to be a strong move and I get a rectangle and I can position myself, I'm going to go in very aggressively. I've been able to predefine my risk, but those are the days where you're going to make your money. The other days, like Bill Lipschutz said, 4 or 5 of his trades made most of the money for the year. 3 or 4 of his trades were his biggest losers, and all the other trades in between were winners, losers, and break-evens, and that takes a huge psychological toll on you, or it can. So, bulletproof your mindset. Get the 7-step daily routine from my homepage, download it, it's an audio file, build your own blueprint, hold yourself accountable, do the little things daily that are going to get you better, but they're also going to unlock little nuggets. You're going to learn something every day if you're looking and if you're paying attention. And then the next biggest thing is being patient. So some of these trades that set up might not happen until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And, again, in the past, I've made all the mistakes where, come Monday, I wanted to trade. And Monday can often be a day where they're just positioning themselves, and it might be an auction day where it moves up and down before it, closes at a certain level. Very, very rarely is Monday take off and not give you a second entry on Tuesday or Wednesday. So be patient. Some of the best trades happen towards the end of the week. And remember, amateurs open, professionals close. but always consider your entry point last night's close. I love that. I love what Paul Tudor Jones has said. I think I'm going to do a vlog on some of his other nuggets this week, because you'll find out as you keep moving forward and learning and getting better that these big traders, the guys that have really made it big, have all started from scratch, and they've learned the hard way, just like most traders. So keep getting better, traders. Stay focused, stay disciplined. Always consider your entry point last night's close. And when you're in the market, the other last little thing with that is something Toby Crable talked about with his opening range, was study the stretch factor. So understand that at what point on a momentum day would you consider the stretch factor. So the open to the extreme of the day, how far should that be? And on most high momentum days, unless it's a high volatility possible day like payrolls or an interest rate announcement, most stretch days on the majors are going to be 20 to 25 pips max. So stay disciplined, traders, stay focused, always consider your entry point last night's close, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.